Hi, everybody. I'm very happy to see you. Well, I'm not really seeing you. In fact, it is you that is seeing me, but I'm very glad that that you keep joining this effort, this project called the 50 Music Postcards. All of them with beautiful, simple but beautiful videos of nice places in the Puerto Vallarta Bay and some surrounding areas. This time, I am very happy to share with you that we will be, or that I will be sharing the one of the most famous Mexican songs. And let me tell you a short anecdote on this. I usually start working on the following postcard 1 to 3 weeks before I actually record it, because I have to make sure that I have the score, that I find a nice accompaniment that I feel comfortable with, that I have reference of the singer or the version that I actually heard for the first time. All the logistics around putting it together, and as I was planning on what would come after the postcard 11 and 12, I I told myself that I should be recording Dime que sí, please say yes, or something like that should be translated into English. And that's when I realized that I even didn't have entered it in the list of the music postcards. I have already pre-selected them. I What I am doing now is only putting them in the order that I feel works best for me and for the resources that I have at hand at the time of the recording. And so, what I told myself was, and I am going to use a phrase in Spanish for people who have been to Mexico, know that we in Mexico have a saying for everything. If there is any type of situation, I'm pretty sure that Mexicans, we already have thought of a way of putting a saying to that. And this is the case because I was thinking that no tengo perdón de Dios, which means something like not even God can forgive me. And what I meant by this is that not even God can forgive me because I really didn't have even included it in the list of the postcards. That is completely impossible. That should have never happened. So what I was thinking is that maybe I was too distracted, too thoughtful on so many things, that one of the obvious and of course absolutely necessary songs to be entered, I really missed that one. Fortunately, or the good thing about it, wrapping up the anecdote, is that I told myself, Ricardo, you have to do it to include it. You certainly have to do it. And you know that what I usually do next is that I share with you the recording or the version of the singer, the rendition of the song by the singer that made me actually fall in love with it. I can share with you that it was Fernando's de la Mora, or Fernando de la Mora's rendition. For those who are aware of who Fernando de la Mora is, he's a Mexican tenor with one of the most beautiful voices that I have ever heard. Fernando's voice is velvet with an ease to reach high notes, which of course people love. And in this particular case, I recall that when I heard it on the radio again, AM radio, Sunday program that I used to listen to when I was young and adolescent, I recall that they played it on the radio program, and I recall the high note at the end of it. And if I recall well, the high note was a high D, which Fernando sang effortless. His rendition of Dime que sí is absolutely amazing. I'm afraid I won't be able to play it here because since it is a relatively recent song, it must be some 25, 30 years maximum that he recorded it. I'm pretty sure, and that since he recorded it with a very famous music music brand, I am pretty sure that this will be a copyright violation. So that is the reason why I didn't. We are not listening to it today. But I really, 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 or I highly advise you that if you have the chance of looking for it in the internet, I'm pretty sure it must be in Spotify or any of those places, please look for Fernando de la Mora and Dime que sí. Dime que sí is a song by Alfonso Esparza Oteo, and since I will not be able to share with you the the actual version by Fernando, what I will be doing with you today, a little different, is that we will go more in detail in the music and the words as we usually do, and I will share with you my notes. For that purpose, I am not going to be using this camera. We will be using the camera in the back, and we will take it from there. I will make some edits if something falls out of place, but I will try to keep it into one cut. You know that I am pretty. I have insisted on it a couple of times that whenever you do something live, it has to do just one cut. Else, it's just pure magic. When you add cuts here, you get rid of what you didn't want, add some light here, take out a note, and so of course the final product is better, but it is at the same time false, because that is not what actually happened. So I will do my best to run it into one, and we have 14, maybe 15 minutes, no more talk. Let's go for it. And I believe that you still can listen to me because I am keeping the mic here. I'm just trying to put it in a better position. Let me see, what could that better position be? Yeah, I'm going to do something different. I'm going to change the position of the mic. I usually sing when I record some 2 meters away from the mic in order to not oversaturate it, and so that's why you are listening to some background noise, and I am trying to speak a little louder so that you can still hear me. And what you are looking at now, and I really would like to share this with you, is the actual score that I remember. I purchased it some 20 years ago. I'm pretty sure that it's, yeah, almost 20 years ago. I recall it that I bought it in a music store in Mexico City, downtown. Printed scores in Mexico have always been very difficult to get, to buy, to purchase, and that's the case of this. And I remember that this was one of the first scores that I purchased, and I remember that I still keep it as one of my treasures. The scores of this traditional or Mexican music usually has a beautiful lady at the front. As you can see, we have a beautiful lady. We have the original tag, or when I actually, the place where I actually bought it from, the name, of course, the title, and the author, Mr. Alfonso Esparza Oteo. Absolutely amazing song, as you are almost about to listen, and this is the actual content. You may also realize that the line for the song is not a separate, as clear as we usually have in other, when we are reading music from other editions. That's usually the case for the Mexican music scores. And you will soon realize that the next one that I have is Solamente una vez, by a very famous Mexican composer also, called Agustin Lara, which of course is very well known to many people. And no more talk on that, and let's listen to the music. And before, let's play some music, and I will make a pause there and try to play with that so that it looks more natural. Okay, let's go for it. Of course, it's written as a waltz. It's a 3/4, as you can, well, if people can read music, and you can read it there. And that's exactly where the voice starts and says, go like, dicen que tú no me quieres. And I want to make a pause there. How did you actually sing this song? I wrote in my notes of the postcard that this is as the lover is complaining, reproaching, sad, and there are many ways, many different ways that you can actually do it. Because if you're like reproaching, but you are somehow mad, the first phrase you can go like, Dicen que tú no me quieres. And as I went deeply in my thoughts on how this actually had to be sung, I thought that, and also in order to not make it so monotonous, and I tried it different ways because I thought of reproaching. I also thought of sad. I mean, you're still upset or mad at her or at him, but you feel, like you're in sorrow. Like even if you want to reproach, you still do it very quietly. That you don't want to him or get mad or her to get even madder. So you keep things softly, and this could be also a soft complaint. What about if instead of saying Dicen que tú no me quieres, why not going like softer and going like Dicen que tú no me quieres, quiero escucharlo de ti. As opposed, if you are still reproaching, but like, like math, like, hey, you are not doing it to me anymore. Quiero escucharlo. You notice the difference? It's not only about the volume, but it is also about the intention. And now that we're talking about the intention, I wanted to share something with you that I chose to do. At the beginning, the first syllable of each phrase didn't go full voice. It's not de. Even if you do it softer, it's not de. But you take out a very small piece of sound where you go softer, and instead of going full like de, I did de, que, si, que. Then I went like Dicen que tú no me quieres. Went for, instead of que, I went for que. When I moved here in C, I said, instead of si tienes otros quereres, I said like si. You see, for a very small amount of time, I took it softly, lower note, and then roasted to the value of the note that I wanted to sing. And there is a reason for that. This is a love song, and if you go all time like reaching the note, besides feeling like monotonous, it feels too harsh, like willing to start a fight. And as I was sharing with you, my thoughts are that even though you are reproaching, you are still afraid of making her mad. So let's go for that from the beginning, and let's listen to how it actually sings with the notes that I already shared with you. And I think I will go for the soft instead of going for the mad guy almost yelling at her. Let's start it like that. Softly. Dicen que tú no me quieres, quiero escucharlo de ti. Si tienes otros quereres. And let's make a pause there, because I think it was clear on why the tone it can be like I am even almost about to cry, because they say that there is that you have another lover, that you don't love me, and if it is so, I want to hear it from you. That's what the first phrase goes about. Dicen que tú no me quieres, quiero escucharlo de ti. They say that you do not love me, but I want to hear it from you. Si tienes otros quereres, quiero saberlo por ti. if you have anyone else that you love, I would like to know it or to hear it from you. You see, you go to your beloved person and say, that may be true, but I want to hear it from you. And also, you can sing it very plain, like, si tienes otros quereres. But I also thought that it was necessary to add, I don't want to say ornaments because ornaments are something different, but that to add some nuances to the rendition, and instead of going like very plain, like, si tienes otros quereres, when you put more intention in each of the syllables and the phrases, you can go like, si tienes otros quereres, quiero saberlo por ti. When you go to dicen, remember that we are not going full like dicen, but dicen que en tu cara morena. I also found that the whole phrase of dicen que en tu cara morena, you can also sing it like dicen que en tu cara morena. But if you play with the phrase a little more, because this word can actually be put into the natural rhythm of Spanish and make it sound even better, you can say like, quiero saberlo por ti. Dicen que en tu cara morena tiemblan otros besos de amor. And now we fall into another part in the song that I wanted to make a note in there, but let's listen a little more around the music so that the music actually goes with the voice. Dicen que en tu cara morena tiemblan otros besos de amor. Those syllables, you can go very, and I recall Maya Cala saying that you can go not only with a forte or a fortissimo, but you also do it like very secco. So when you do that, the intention goes differently, because instead of saying dicen que en tu cara morena, if you say dicen que en tu cara morena, you go tiemblan otros besos de amor. That would also give the intention that you are trying to control yourself, that as I was saying before, like feel that you are about to explode of anger because he has someone else, but you still don't dare. But you can go secco with the voice and say, dicen que en tu cara morena, so they say that in your brown face there are other kisses of love, but if it is so, nada me importa la vida sabiéndote ajena. You say, I really don't care about life if you belong to someone else. And that's when you go to a more natural, higher secco volume and say like, nada me importa la vida sabiéndote ajena. Or you can go more legato, more musical and say, nada me importa la vida sabiéndote ajena. But the effect is very different. If you go like more musical, legato, following this beautiful music, it's different when you put more emphasis on the voice and say it, nada me importa la vida sabiéndote ajena. And that is the same case for the last phrases in the song. When you say, dime que mienten que nunca tendrás otro amor. And even though we don't have any any notes by the by the composer telling us to make to give more expression, to give a higher remark or anything like that. We don't have any legato notes, so I think it's more acceptable to say, dime que mienten que nunca tendrás otro amor. That effect you can find also a little ahead when you say quedo como se nombra a Dios. Also, there is more than one way of saying softly, just the same way you name God. Then you can go like, dime que sí y un pedazo de cielo tendré, y si tú me lo pides, mi cielo y mi vida también te daré. Of course, as you can hear, it is very rhythmic in terms of how the spoken Spanish is. And it is very interesting because here, the last part, also you go like, dime que sí y un pedazo de cielo tendré, y si tú me lo pides, mi cielo y mi vida. If you notice the difference of remarking those notes, doing it more seco, y si tú me lo pides, mi cielo y mi vida, is very different as opposed when you say, y si tú me lo pides, mi cielo y mi vida. You see, the effect is very different. As I was sharing with you, there were, I don't want to give a number, but there were a dozen ways I must have rehearsed it, like softly, now mad, now almost yelling, now almost like crying, now almost like, please, please, please don't go, tell me that yes, you have someone else, but they say that you have someone else, but please, I don't want to hear it from them. So, in order to round the idea, I will play it complete from the beginning, and most of it will be marcato, to insist on the notes that of what I have already shared. Dicen que tú no me quieres, quiero escucharlo de ti. Si tienes otros quereres, quiero saberlo por ti. Dicen que en tu cara morena tiemblan otros besos de amor. Nada me importa en la vida sabiéndote ajena. Dime que mienten, que nunca tendrás otro amor. You hear, go softly. Deja que mi labio te nombre. Quedo como se nombra. And there we can talk about how you want to go for the como se nombra Dios, because there is what singers usually do here is that we say quedo como se nombra Dios softly, and the singer usually goes full voice. I think that, well, in fact, that goes against of what the text actually sings, but it is, it is more effective because it makes people clap. So that's what it actually happens. Cielo tendré, y si tú me lo pides, mi cielo y mi vida también te daré. We're going to stop it there. I hope you enjoyed my thoughts and remarks on what my actual rendition was for this postcard song that I really, really, really love a lot. I hope I can meet you sometime very soon. Thank you and bye bye.